All right, we're going into Christmas, and for a lot of you guys, this is going to be a very tough time for you. Why? Well, if your wife just left you, or you're having half the time with your kids, you're probably dealing with a contentious divorce. She's giving you hell. She won't let you see your kids, and you're like, I'm coming home to this echoey, empty house with half the furniture gone. This video is for you. We're going to turn this into a powerful place. This place of you're dreading Christmas, you're dreading having to interact with her, you're dreading like, what does this mean for my family? But by the end of this video, brother, you will have a game plan to turn this into absolute fire. So stick around to the end, and I'm going to show you how to do all of this. My name is Baxter, and I help guys in betrayal situations. I've coached thousands of men. Tens of thousands of men have come through my doors in one form or another. I've had over 3,000 guys come through the Betrayed to Badass program. And that's what we do. We'll get you to that place where you make the right decision for you and your children. Look, nobody likes divorce. Everybody hates it, but on the other hand, it is a rebirth. So like when someone says they get a divorce, they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. But at the same time, that means it's a call to an end of a really bad situation. A divorce is never something like it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy in the fact that you have two adults that should be mature enough to be able to settle their differences, and they can't because of some dumb emotional trauma. But it is a celebration in the rebirth of at least one of the two people. And if you're watching this video, it's probably going to be you. So usually when you have a separation and you have a woman who cheats on her husband, she's not looking to grow. She's looking for the escape, she's looking for the quick fix, she's looking for the emotional addiction. And what that does is sparks the man to go into absolute savagery in his growth. Why? Because pain leverages people to move forward. So if you're watching this video, I already know you're in pain, and you're looking on some level to relieve it. Either your wife has left you, or she's cheated on you, or maybe you've been past this for a long time and you're just looking to move on. You're dealing with a toxic ex that you just want to have some sort of peace with. And so the pain of betrayal always hits worse during the holiday. For obvious reasons, it brings up the fact that you're not a family unit anymore. These memories that you had with the kids and their household being together, maybe you grew up in a divorced home and you hope to keep your kids together for the sake of the family, because you didn't have that. And then you look at your own relationship, you realize you did the same thing your parents did. So when this happens, we want to turn that pain into power. And the first way to do that, the key takeaway of this, is to lean into the pain. Like, Ed, I don't want to feel the pain. I'm trying to get away from it. I'm trying to feel better. It's like, yeah, but look what happens when you try to get away from it. Look what happens when you try to lean away from the pain. You try to sedate, you try to numb out. All it does is just put it in this box in the corner, and then it's like, at some point, it's like interest on a credit card. The more you put on the credit card because you don't want to deal with your budget or learn how to make more money, eventually the interest is going to catch up with you. Now you can't even pay your fucking bills because you have so much interest. And it's the same thing with your own emotional resiliency. If you keep stuffing emotions down in the back corner of the box, never to be seen again, that eventually it's going to come out in weird ways. And the first way that it comes out is anxiety. I have too much nervous energy I don't know how to deal with. And so what we end up doing is we end up looking at our phone. You look at your phone trying to sedate from the nervous energy, but the problem is that now you're putting more information into your mind, and your mind doesn't have a time to decompress the information it already has, and now you're stuffing it with even more. Down you go this anxiety spiral. And so then you look for anything you can externally to make you feel better. Maybe it's a video like this. Maybe it's trying to get your ex-wife to respond to you. Maybe it's hiring a prostitute, or maybe it's getting shit-faced drunk. Whatever it is, you're doing this thing where you're numbing it out to try to give yourself some extra room, some extra space to handle the anxiety. But the problem is that you're not paying down the interest. You pay down the interest by leaning into the pain and facing it head on. And so you don't want to let this go down into a destructive cycle like we just said. You want to lean into the pain and then stop engaging in what we call stupid things. Stupid thing is the victimhood mentality of like, well, you know, this is bad and I keep doing this and everything sucks and in my life and I'm just going to go eat worms. It's like, okay, cool, you can do that, but what does it do? Like, it doesn't help you. It's a habituated cycle that just is negativity and masochistic, and it just puts you down in the pit. And then your anxiety drives up, which if those stories weren't in your mind, you wouldn't be thinking that. That's why people like to drink. That's why people like to watch TV. That's why people go to porn. Because in that moment, we're not in the rumination cycle. So you're like, oh, I feel so much better by doing all this sedation. It's like, no, dude, you're just pretending it doesn't exist. And then when that stops, the stories come back. And so your stories in your mind are really what's wigging you out, not even the situation. It's your stories and your context and your container and your whatever that you're putting in it that's wigging you out. So really, the only person wigging you out is yourself. And so if you lean into the pain, you'll notice that you're just doing it to yourself. You're just torturing yourself. And there's no reason that you have to do that. You can turn this around immediately if you just stop torturing yourself. If you go into this place, lean into the pain and see what the lessons are with it. And so that's the first thing that we want to do. The second is focus on what you can control. Like, you can't control her, and you can't control what she does with the kids. And you can't control her asking you about what's going on. And you can't control her opening her mouth and trying to get you into a fight when she drops off the kids to pick them up. And you can't control her doing whatever she's going to do. And she's most likely going to do what she can to try to make your life miserable. She's going to start showing up late, picking them up early. What they usually do is they sandbag the process. You try to make plans with her, and you just can't get any plans from her. Hey, when do you want to do this? When do you want to coordinate? And you just won't hear crickets. And then she'll start deflecting and coming at you like, well, you're trying to just paint you out as this monster that shouldn't even have his kids because obviously you're going to fuck them up. And so you can't control her behavior, but what you can do is stick to a schedule. And what you want to do is make sure, maybe you have to do it through the courts, but you want to make sure you set this cadence of how you operate. And so when you're talking to her, do not talk to her in person. And when you do talk to her in person and she tries to start a fight, you say, you know, that is a good conversation. We should have that with a marriage counselor. You know, it's a good conversation. We should have that with the mediator. Hey, I'm glad you brought that up. You know, a counselor would really be able to help us with this. And just be like a broken record with this. Every time she brings this up, you're actually throwing a solution towards her, a solution you know she won't go towards, and then she'll just leave it alone. And so just try this tactic out and say, hey, by the way, I'm going to make plans with the kids for Christmas, so let's get on the same page with the schedule. And then you're going to present your schedule. You're not going to ask for her to come up with something. You're not going to assume that you're going to do it together. Don't. Just come up with it and send it to her and say, hey, I made this schedule. If you're good with it, I'm just going to go with it. Let me know if you need to do any changes. And then she's going to throw a bunch of toxic shit at you. Oh, you just always care about yourself. You're always doing everything. You never ask me for and stuff. And you know full well, even if you did do that, she'd just deflect it anyway because what she's trying to do is not let you see the kids at all on Christmas. Why? Because she can and because she wants to hurt you and because whatever's going on in her life, she feels like if she can just throw it on you and make you the scapegoat, she didn't have to look at herself. It's really what it comes down to. This is why she talks badly to her friends. It's why she talks badly to everybody you know. She's trying to justify her actions by just showing everybody how terrible you are, thinking that the worse she can make you look, the more justified she is in her actions. And really, all that's really happening there at that time is everybody's like, I don't want to be involved with your drama. And you're making yourself look bad. So just remember that that's what's going on. And so when you do make plans, make sure you stay to the plan. Stick to it, stick to it, stick to it. Do not be late. Always do exactly what you say. And then when she's off, make sure you call it out every time. Hey, we're supposed to be here. Hey, we're supposed to be here. And keep it in writing. Keep it all text messages or emails. Usually it's text messages that happen. If you have one of these apps where the parents have to communicate to each other, which sometimes happens to the court, these are perfect. That's why the court makes people do it, because they can't get along, and so the court has to put context around how they should deal with each other. It's kind of ridiculous, but we deal with a lot of adults that act like kids. And so you want to be the mature one. You want to be the magnanimous one. And when she starts to lay into you, just ignore all the bullshit that she says and only stick to the points. Stick to the logical facts. Don't get caught up in her stuff. And she's going to throw a lot of stuff at you to try to get you pissed off. And if she gets you pissed off and you start engaging in it, she's won. And so just remember, every time you get engaged in all that toxic behavior, you're giving her all the liberty to just control you. She's controlling you. Make no mistake, she emotionally controls you and she's got you by the dick. So if you don't want her to control you, then you have to process your emotions. And you also have to not engage in it. Just stick to the plan. Okay, so does this mean you're not agreeing to let me see the kids on these days? Okay, what are you agreeing to? Are you agreeing to let me see them on these days? Okay, so now it's coming up on the time. Are you saying that I can't see the kids at all? And so you're going to do this a little bit of put words in her mouth in the text messages. Why? Because we want to paint the picture and call out the actual behavior. And again, I'm not a lawyer. So get a lawyer. I can't give you legal advice, but I've seen this is what's happened that's helped for guys in the Broken and Badass program is in this space of texting her back and forth, if you put leading questions in here like this, it sounds like the narrative is this, and it's calling out the behavior. So let me get this straight. I can't see him here, and I can't see him here, and now we're 2 weeks out. Are you trying to just not let me see them at all? Which is what she's doing, and she's doing it by sandbagging the process. If I keep kicking a can down the road, I'll keep messing it up, and then she'd be like, well, you know, we had plans, and so I couldn't bring them over and all this stuff. Sorry. You don't let her be in that place. You have to be the one to take initiative for all these things. And don't be late on any of these things. You have to hold it because she'll take this and slaughter you with it. And I know there's a double standard here, but you want to hold yourself true. And then when she goes off the double standard, it's logged and marked in your text messages. So if it comes up in court, you can demonstrate that she's manipulating and playing the game of parental alienation. And when the kids are with you, create an unforgettable experience. It's not about how much time you're with them. It's about the quality of time. So make sure you're not just hanging out. Like that's always what you see these dads doing. It's like they just hang out. They don't create any like lasting memories. So don't try to necessarily recreate what you had with mom. Don't do that at all. Create new things. Create all new experiences. So whatever you did with her, don't do it now. Or if you find out she's not doing it and the kids really liked it, then you could pick it up again. But you want to create a new experience. You want to make it different than what it was before. Why? Because we don't want to be in this place of lamenting the past. And we want to pull the kids into our greater future that we're creating. And if we keep going back into the past to try to recreate that, you're going to send a signal of everybody was happier when we were married. And you don't want to do that. You want to create this context and container of everything is awesome now that we're separated. Everything is so much better. Look, kids, we're going to crazy new places. Our lives are so much better now. And the kids are going to feel it anyway because, for one, the parents aren't together fighting all the time. And so don't let them see you fight with their mother. Don't speak badly about their mother. Now, she's going to do that, and she's going to use the kids as little spies. Make no mistake. So watch your language, watch what you say, and watch what you do around them because she will use them as spies. She will put them in the middle of it. 100%. She cannot help herself. She will fucking do it. So keep that in mind. And remember, all your text messages, assume that her lawyer is going to grill you on them and make you look bad in front of the judge. So keep that in mind when you're looking at your tone of language when you're talking to her. That's why you want to stick to the facts, be logical, and don't engage in her toxic behavior. Because then it'll paint the narrative that she's the angry one that can't get along with anybody. So when you're with these kids, again, quality over quantity. You might not get 2 weeks with them during Christmas. You might only get 2 days. You might like get Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then she gets them the next couple of days. And you had played this game of like back and forth with the kids, and I was one of those kids who had to go back and forth. And the only thing I gave a shit about was, can we get along? Can we please get along? It wasn't a big deal that I went to my dad's house. It wasn't a big deal I was at my mom's house. It was a matter of just like, can we get along? And are we going to do fun things together? And when I was with my dad, he didn't do anything really. We just kind of watched TV. And like, that was it. He didn't really create an experience for us for any of these holidays. We were just kind of hanging out. He's like, okay, we did presents and then we kind of had a Christmas dinner and that was about it. There's no traditions. We didn't actually go do anything. And so don't do that. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy where all the traditions are with mom and then you're like, well, I got the kids, I'm a dad, I don't really know how to parent them. Don't be that guy. Create an amazing experience for them so that they'll remember. They'll remember the experiences. They won't remember how much time they were with you. Don't let their mother steal your Christmas spirit. Be magnanimous, be the adult, be the grown-up in this, and she's going to throw all kinds of stuff at you. Don't let her see you sweat. Don't let her see you get upset. Don't let her see you get angry. Don't let her see you cry. Don't let her see you do any of that stuff. From her perspective, you're living your best life. In fact, you've never been better. Do not let her see you in any other state because any other state means this is the place that she can leverage to get you. Any sign of weakness, she's going to fucking pounce on it. It's like the fucking prison yard. Don't show any weakness. And so you have to not show her this. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to be feeling a different way inside, but that doesn't matter. Because here, if you're dealing with a toxic ex, she's going to leverage anything she can to win. And winning for her is destroying you emotionally. And don't let her do it. So don't let her steal your Christmas spirit. Don't let her steal it from the kids. When the kids are with you, everything is awesome. You're going to go do some cool shit. Even if you're feeling bad inside, you're going to really appreciate the fact you're able to push through this hardship and really move forward powerfully. And you're going to get overwhelmed. So whenever you're overwhelmed, this just means that you're kind of caught up in your stories, and your stories are telling you that everything's going to go bad. So when you start feeling overwhelmed, just start taking action. What's the next small thing that I can do to move the needle forward with my life, my resilience, my personal power, and just go do that. Get out of your environment. Go to the gym. Whatever you have to do. A lot of this is learning the psychology game of your own mind and being able to really overcome your own emotional state. And so the last portion of this is when you feel overwhelmed, take action and move forward. Whatever that happens to be. If you don't know what to do, make a game plan. What can I do when I am down? How can I turn this around? What emotional tools can I use to actually pivot and move forward? I can guarantee you if you take action, you're going to feel a lot better because depression typically comes out of hopelessness. And if you're feeling hopeless, this means you're not going to take action. So oftentimes the thing that you've got to do is go do something, which is ironically the hardest thing to do. So you just getting up and making yourself move shows yourself some emotional resiliency, and then you can get a win out of what is a perceived loss. If you're going through this, brother, I feel you. If you need help, you need support, you need a brotherhood that can help you out, check out the Broken and Badass program in the link in the description below. In fact, we can get you into your power in about 2 weeks. And we'll get you firing on all cylinders in about 2 months. Either your relationship has fallen apart and you want to reconcile, or she's cheated on you, you want to move on as fast as possible. The process is 100% the same. And in Genuine Attraction, we don't teach you how to be this bullet sponge guy who just keeps taking all his wife's abuse under the guise of, well, she just needs to feel unheard and understood. And eventually, when she feels heard and understood, she'll start being nice again. That's not how women work. And so if you're in a marriage program or you've seen some stuff online, that just realize you're just gonna be in that place forever, and it's gonna get worse. It will get worse 100%, because what you tolerate, you encourage. And somebody who is not empathetic towards you, and you don't stand up for yourself, and you don't start having some boundaries, all that's gonna happen is they're just gonna pile on you more. Why? Because you let them and you're encouraging it. And so that's not how you solve a relationship. That's not how you lead your family. That's not how you lead your wife. And it's a shit-tastic example that you set for your kids. So if you're dealing with that now, again, come to Genuine Attraction, check out the Broken to Badass program, and we'll make you a fucking badass in a couple of weeks, brother. Anyways, I hope you like this video. Hit subscribe if you want to see all of them, and I'll see you in the next one.